Welcome. Do you want me to do the intro for you?
Yeah, can you do it?
Welcome to a chat for Carlton's mid-season review on the Blue Broad channel. Hello, Terry. How are you?
Hello, mate.
I feel like you're the one always doing this now. I thought I'll use my hosting expertise on the fly.
We were just saying, we were here after Hawthorn, before Collingwood, and we were like pleading for some life.
Give us something.
4-7, man.
Yeah, not good. Not good. We've been here before.
Been here before.
We've been here before. We have. King's birthday Sunday. We've been here before.
Jacob Wiedering bobblehead this time around.
Do you like the little video I put together of Lee? Hello, Lee.
He's done it again.
He's done it again.
Shout out to Lee Judges.
He's a roped-on Carlton fan now. He's Lee. He's out in Dubai. So actually, before we do this video, just a public apology to all those who have come for me about that Jack Silvani video. I need to put on the proviso. I actually thought he was still contracted, Jack. I thought his contract was at the end of next year, and they were looking to extend it.
Well, I
thought he was going to be. I thought we could trade him.
Oh, you tried to shoot Bandy and they've come for you.
Yeah, he's actually an unrestricted free agent.
Yes.
So he's not worth anything on the open market. So to all those who have put the noose around me and tightened it, thank you very much. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Unless he decides to move for more than what the club is offering him, which I believe is the case.
They'd want to offer him something.
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
Is there an offer?
No.
There is no offer to Jack Silvani today.
No. Not my knowledge anyway.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. But how are you, mate? How are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good. I know that this weekend will have no stress attached.
Won't it?
No, there'll be no loss. Well, there'll be no loss.
Actually, you know what? Funny, I was talking about this with a few people at work and a few of the Carlton circle, that the coach said it, the players have said it, you're saying it, everybody else is saying it. We're talking about the bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one has come forth and said, geez, you know what, like the last 2 weeks have been poor, I want to play this week. There's a bit of oh well about it. Yeah.
There's a bit of it's just not working. I can't explain it. I mean, the first few games it's still early in the season, it's not over yet. We heard that for about 3 or 4 weeks. Then we got the real mental toughness needs to be challenged.
There's plenty of runways, what Michael Voss said after we were 0-2.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, because obviously from a fan's point of view, you want urgency and you want this. But you actually don't want them to be panicking. You want them to be calm under pressure. But it's almost too much calmness under pressure. And there's almost this underlying confidence that it's just going to work itself out, which I don't know where it's coming from. And I don't know if it's going to be real. We'll find out. We've got, 12, 13 weeks of footy to go.
We do.
So we'll do this chat at the end of the season, and hopefully maybe the miracle of 2025 has happened. But there just is an underlying it's going to be okay. We're still bullish.
Well, it's funny you say that, because in front of the cameras, and when the games are said and done, and prior to an actual game, it's all very cool. But then when the ball gets bounced, when it starts to get away from us, it becomes the polar opposite.
True,
That's when the
panic kicks in.
Fascinating, isn't it?
It reminds me of uni, it does.
Yeah.
12 weeks of semester, I'd be like, I'll study later. And then I get to the exam.
Deadline day.
And then I'm like, oh my God, I haven't studied it. I don't know what I'm reading. I'm fucked. It's oh man, it's crazy.
You sum it up well all the time when we get to this scenario. It has to get to red lights flashing, alarm bell sounding, DEFCON 5
nuke
until it gets to
discussions. Yeah.
I thought we'd got over that last year when we went through that middle patch and went bang, 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 and we were 5-6 goals up against GWS, but since then, it has been an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah.
On all fronts.
Yeah, it's baffling. Yeah. I did my mid-season review the other day, and
yes, well done. By the way, it was very well put together.
Thank you. I'm just repeating myself though.
Yeah. You start to get sick of it, don't you?
I'm just like, I don't know how people are still tuning in.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, because that's the magic of the Carlton spirit.
Well, people want answers,
community,
don't they?
and all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm also keeping space, and I know it's crazy thinking, but I am also keeping space for the understanding that anything can happen. You don't know what's around the corner. The issue is with Carlton, you don't know what's around the corner for the bad. But when is it going to be, I don't know what's around the corner for the good?
Yeah.
So, like, when's that going to happen?
Yes, when you see teams respond like Brisbane did against Hawthorn.
Yeah.
They had 2 iffy performances and then they bounced back away from home.
The D's?
Demons have done it. Collingwood have been humming this year.
The Dogs?
They're all really solid football teams, and I think it's just it shows you how competitive and even the competition is. But that's no excuse for what we're going through at the moment. Last year in the back end, it was we lost all these key players, so okay, we give them another chance. This year, there's no excuse for what they've dished up. Other teams have caught up to us, and other teams have gone past us at this particular point in time. But we need to lay out all the facts over the season. But sometimes if you wait that long, then it can get away from you too. So they've got really important decisions to make as a footy club right now.
Yeah.
That will bleed into not just the back half of this year, but next year, the year after that, and the year after that.
Have you given up on the year?
No, never. You can't. I don't think you can. I know we say it after
like
certain
a season
games.
Over
but you can't. Like if we and I think once the emotion comes away from games and you remove that and you get on with your week, I do believe this to be true. If we're asking the players not to give up, and then we're saying it's season over, well, that's not
exactly.
Like, what hope do they have?
Exactly.
They wouldn't want. We want them to go into the trenches. We should be going into the trenches for them too. But then there's also an inflection point where you say, well, hang on a minute, we've been here before. They haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
We've got to start moving people on. And we know it's been in media now that sweeping changes are set to hit Icon Park, Princes Park.
Yeah. It's only when people's jobs are at risk that they start performing. But that's the reality, isn't it? If they keep going down this hole, so 4 and 7, if you have a similar second season to the first half of the season, second half of the season to the first half of the season, then people's livelihoods and jobs will be
of course,
at risk.
Course.
And I mean, it gets spoken about a lot. Sack him, he's been here for too long. And I mean, I do have space for the human element of like, that's a really...
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to be inhumane and, treat them like circus monkeys, but like, there's space for that, but...
Naturally, yes.
I mean, this is about winning football games.
Yeah, of course, and you can't... Like, football itself is not... As much as it is life for a lot of us and a lot of people who are actually directly involved with football clubs and Carlton itself...
Yeah.
It's a finite part of your career for a lot of these people.
Yeah.
Especially players, and then head of football, players and positions in staff have moved on. Like, it's a high turnover industry when you think about it. Not many people spend. How many people spend a decade at a club?
Well, in any job.
Well, exactly.
In the modern world.
Exactly. It just so happens to be that this is the spotlight, and this is what we talk about. So, and people come to us and people come to these fan channels looking for answers because, and this is true, when everything's going smoothly, it's like society. When society's going smoothly, there's no civil unrest, you can pay your bills, everyone's content, everyone's happy, you don't question government, you don't question those in charge, do you?
No, that's right.
When the opposite happens, you start to hold their feet to the fire and then you look within.
And that's us.
Well, that's exactly right.
When we're winning,
exactly,
you won't hear too much. It's when we're losing you'll hear questions around leaders and board members and department. And I think that's healthy, as in because it's actually a very easy fix. Win. Win games of football.
How do you do that consistently is the question. I think, and I know people sometimes roll their eyes at this, but I like to look at the world game football. Carlo Ancelotti, we're talking legendary manager, legendary player. Just left Real Madrid, the biggest and greatest club in the world, right? He said after 40 years in football, he said, I don't know. He goes, what's the right system? He goes, there's no one right system. There's no one right thing. It's maximising the strengths of your individuals as a collective, and then what may happen from that may happen from that. So we're probably not doing that at the moment on the field, are we?
Well, I don't think there's a full buy-in to what is being asked. And the reason why I say that is because I've seen when they buy into what they're being asked to do. There's just such a clear distinction. I mean, the numbers may or may not back up what I'm seeing. But I mean, you know when they're engaged, you know when they want to focus, you know when they've got the attention to detail on the milliseconds, you know when they're not wasting their opportunities because they've got that. I think focus is the word.
Yeah, I've seen it for one game for maybe 90% of the game this year, and it was a Geelong match. And even then, we probably should have still won by more that day.
Yeah.
That should have been 5, 6, 7, 8 goals.
Yeah.
But such is the way we're going at the moment.
The resilience is dropping. It's dipping.
Well, when you go on playing for so long, right, and I speak of Sam Walsh, I speak of Patrick Cripps, I speak of Jacob Wiedering, even Tom De Koning now to a point, if there's nothing of substance on the win-loss column when it comes to finals and wins in season, well, eventually they're going to start to question what's going on, aren't they? You can see it in their eyes. Like, look at Walsh.
Walsh?
Got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
It's the first time I've seen him in this patch. Walsh used to have the devil in his eyes. The demon, the obsessive demon. They're like, I don't care how young I am.
That doesn't go away, though. It's still there.
It's still there. He's just in the patch, and I'm sure, we've said it before, can't a guy be out of form? You know,
I don't even think he's that badly out of form.
He's not out of form.
He's not been great the last fortnight, but
the weight is a great way to explain it.
He almost seems sick of playing the way we're playing at the moment. I think that could be an issue.
Yeah.
But on my end, like I don't look at it and say, oh, he's done or he's cooked for the year. And to reverse on that, I think the back is definitely an issue, but they're not really looking after him, are they?
Yeah. Well, he isn't playing on the inside as much as last year, but you still see high tackle numbers, high contested possession numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to be a contested team.
Yeah, of course.
Whether we agree with it or disagree with it, or the balance is disproportionate to what it should be. And I know you're pretty hot on the way we defend, and maybe the numbers are skewed because we have numbers behind the ball, and so
correct.
not as much space. And again, whether we agree with it or disagree with it, they've done it enough times for us to know that this is what they want to do. I mean, is the answer just release them a little bit? Don't have the smalls coming to cover and help in defence.
I do. I don't want to use the word feel for them because they're adults, but I do think a player like Jesse Motlop has a lot more to give than what is being currently.
Well, I don't think of him as an endurance guy. I think of him as like a burst.
High impact.
But then now I'm questioning, does he have burst? Have I been misled? Have my eyes deceived me?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we utilise those smalls and utilise those forwards as well as we should.
Yeah.
But I think that's the case for a lot of the team as well. Like there's inefficiency across the board.
Oh, man.
Which hurts, and that is due to, and I keep saying that we are inefficient ahead of the ball because we're inefficient behind the ball.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
The ball use. Winning the ball, not a problem.
No. We win a lot of the ball. And the problem is, you see these inside 50 counts and the numbers and the profile and all that. I wouldn't be so concerned if we were creating shots at goal every single game, creating opportunities to score.
Yeah.
But the problem is we get the ball ahead of centre often enough to create enough opportunities to score, but we're not creating those opportunities. So that's the concern for me. If we're creating and it's just execution in front of goal and on goal, then I think, okay, well, that eventually math, science, probability, it should balance back into your favour.
That's what's not being spoken about when comparing to 2023, because 23, we were generating 25-ish scoring shots on goal. We were just wildly inaccurate with the shots. This year, we're not actually generating the shots on goal at volume like we were.
How hard is it for us to score? Like that St Kilda game. Until the last 10 minutes of that match, that goal we kicked in the third quarter against St Kilda, I've never seen a Carlton team work that hard, or this particular core group work that hard for a goal against an opposition like that.
Yeah.
They grinded their backsides off to kick a goal. It was like a 10 to 15 minute grind.
You know the pound the rock analogy that they've been
quite
using?
Literally that.
But it's like they're not pounding the rock with the axe tool.
No.
They're banging their head against the rock.
They are.
Wearing themselves out, smashing their head against the rock.
Yeah.
And does it really just split open? Does it really just split open against Essendon and then yalla, away we go?
Well, one would hope so. I mean, do you have any confidence that that will be the case of what, when we're here after Essendon went up to Brisbane and gave them the scare of their life?
Honestly, in the most psychotic way, I don't fear the second half fixture. Getting the Suns at Marvel, getting Freo over there.
We have a very easy.
Yeah, it's a gift.
Fixture.
It's a gift.
But have we earned that gift?
Hell no.
So if you haven't earned a gift, you treat it with contempt, don't you?
Well, that is even a broader question mark around the facilities, world-class facilities, medical imaging centre.
Oh, no.
All the great resources that are at the club. It's like, it's like that notion of, I'm going to put my kids in the best schools possible in the state, going to give them the best opportunity to succeed.
Yes.
But you know what they don't get when they get all the beautiful things? The fucking...
realness. Yeah.
The resilience.
Yes, I know.
Because you've been
street smart, streetwise.
You're in this world where everything's given to you, all the best of the best is given to you, but for the most part, it's when you don't have those opportunities that you build that resilience to figure its way through. That's why...
It's literally, send him 2-3 years Dagestan, forget.
Nobody.
Send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
And it feels a bit like that. It's like they have everything from a resource point of view, but it's actually working against them because they haven't been taught to live without what others have, and therefore have to figure it out.
Look, I mean, these players have earned their spots on AFL lists. So we're not saying that, but it's what's gifted to you now, based on what you've done. Do you deserve 60, 70, 80, 90,000 crowds at the MCG on a constant basis?
You're just used to it.
Do you deserve 100,000 members? Do you deserve 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people rocking up to open training during Christmas when people go on holidays? During the week, people still rock up. Do you deserve that? And you've got to ask yourself that question as a player, as a coach, as a
And I think that's part of the burden for the players too.
Yeah, but you have to carry your burden.
Yeah, you
have to.
That's right. You don't get the beautiful crowds and the beautiful support without the beautiful criticism.
You have to carry your burden uphill.
Yeah.
And then reach the pinnacle. You don't get anywhere without that.
Maybe this 4 and 7 hole that we're in and the holes that we continue to find ourselves in is part of them having the learnings of resilience. Because they're not getting it from anywhere else. They're not under-resourced. They're not under-staffed. They're not under... I think under-resourced is the way to put it.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, the president's video got released early this morning, so great of him to show his face.
Well, yeah, I'm glad to hear him speak on video in 2025.
And I did, and as we met up, I timed how long they spoke about the medical, or how long he spoke about the medical imaging centre. It was 2 minutes and 54 seconds. It was 3 minutes of a 9-minute video on the medical imaging centre. So a third of the video was on the radiology and imaging centre at the club.
Do you know what I don't get about these things? We hear a lot about what we are doing to create and generate non-core revenue. That's great. But I don't hear as much about what we are doing with the income generated from the non-core revenue into the football program.
Correct.
So did you hire an extra assistant? Did you, I don't know,
or are they just keeping that under wraps because they don't want to reveal what they're doing?
Maybe. But I would like to know what's being done to improve the football performance. Because I remember Kane Little back in 2019 saying, getting the off-field sorted, there's usually the lag effect on-field from the off-field investment and things of that nature. And it seems like we're repeating another cycle of this. The only difference now is it's all documented because we've been criticising and critiquing it since 2019.
I don't know. Look, and the president did say it's some sort of, you're always looking for competitive edges. I don't know what this medical centre means, that Mitch Cleary won't get the injury of mail before anyone.
Well, if anything, it just prevents them from going for scans with employees that can just tell the public they can keep it more in-house.
Yeah, fair enough. And that's understandable too, but for the average common supporter who just wants to go to the football and watch their team win or lose,
they
don't really care about that, do they?
Just win games of football.
Yeah, that's ultimately what it's about. They don't care about that side of things.
Yeah.
And I don't think, to a point, it's not. I understand it.
Yeah.
But I don't wake up in the morning thinking, our president spoke about medical imaging centre at Icon Park.
Yeah. Look, injury detection and injury prevention is an important one. There's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. I just don't know how this particular imaging centre is going to be better at detecting and preventing injuries than what they're currently doing.
Yeah, well, they must see something. They clearly see something.
Like, does every player go through a scan after every game as opposed to only when they feel sore?
Well, it's a twofold thing. It's that, and then it's money.
Yeah,
that's what they were referring
it's open to the
it's money,
the community,
and that's what it's ultimately about as well. So, I think for us now, we're at a point where changes are imminent. We all know that.
Yeah.
And it won't be all at once. It will be drip fed.
Yeah.
I'm certain of that. They will make moves. And Graham Wright brings a different philosophy.
Yeah.
He brings a different way of doing things. He's not going to do things the way Brian Cook did it. He's not going to do things the way that maybe Nick Austin scouts and looks at list management. Graham Wright's not going to do things like Michael Voss wants them to be done. The saying with Graham Wright is he's an agent of change. That's what he did at Hawthorn. That's what he did at Collingwood.
Bold calls.
And that's what he's going to do here. And we haven't really had bold, tough, big
football-focused
moments. Yeah. As in, I'm talking big trades, big recruits. It's all been off-field.
Yeah, true.
And it's not been on-field. We haven't had someone in the playing group broken up. And that core group of picks that we had in 2015, maybe we go down that path. We haven't really had a big move happen aside from Jagger Smith maybe coming in, but he's a kid.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that will happen over the next 6 to 8 months that will permeate through the club for the next decade.
For sure.
Because time's running out with these players. They're all at their peak. Cripps can't get any better. Curnow can't get any better. Harry can't get any better.
I hope they can.
Well, they're at a level, so now we probably need to rejuvenate a bit of the youth in the squad with some talent in there. Look,
the part that's so bemusing about Harry and Charlie in particular, and that group, I mean, I get Cripps, he's in that 30 bracket, still think he's got 2, 3, 4 years at
absolutely
the level.
Absolutely he does, touch wood.
Yeah, all of that. But the rhetoric around Harry and Charlie and Jacob has always been from the start, wait till they're 27, 28, because the key position guys, when they're there, that's when you get the absolute best. Well, they're there, 26, 27, 28.
We're here.
Now we're talking about, let's see what we can sort of get for them. Not everyone, but there is a bit of an air of that of, maybe you need to trade one of them and get a kid in. And that for me is a psychotic cycle and an insanity. It is insanity to think about that we waited for them to get to this point only to now want to potentially trade them. I don't agree or disagree. I think there's merit to an argument that you can have one, maybe not two, and there's no work. Sure, I'm open to every argument at this point because I've got no idea what the right way forward is.
Well, list management has to look at it that way too. They can't just say, we're just keeping a player. And if offers come forth that list management and the club think are going to benefit the Carlton Football Club for the now and long term, well, they're going to make that call, aren't they? Irrespective of, you have to count, you have to factor in sentimental value, emotional attachment, being at the club for a while, what supporter sentiment is with certain players, but how much of a factor or how much does that weigh in when you're making decisions on players like that? It's hard to say. Each list manager has a different philosophy. Each club has a different philosophy around that. Will it work? I don't know. Will they keep playing? I mean, they've kept the players together. They're there. They're in their prime now.
Yeah.
Can they maybe go to another level with another coach? Can they go to another level with someone else coming in, giving away a draft pick for maybe whatever we get for Tom de Koning, and then bringing in someone to supplement the midfield, and then maybe we get more out of Charlie and Harry and other players that way? They would say, okay, well, we think Harry and Charlie and this core group and these other players are at this particular level, and we're only getting to there because the coaches are holding them back.
Yeah.
So we make a move. There's probably 3 scenarios, and I put this up on Twitter, that It's either the coaches aren't getting the most out of the playing list, which means they think the playing list is good enough, right? And a few little changes need to be made on the playing list, right? Which is always going to happen at the end of the year. It's either that, the playing list is not good enough, and the coach remains, right? And they make big, bold moves, or it's both. Or it's both. Either way, whatever decisions that they make, it does not mean that next year or the year after that we just bottom out and then we get. There's no. To me, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think
it does not exist.
I think us as modern fans bought into rebuild as being 5 years at the bottom, and then eventually you rise your way to the top. And I think I didn't know any better. Yeah, it's a rebuild. Got to embrace the modern way. I think a lot of supporters did.
Trust the people at the club to get that right. They're paid the money. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like things change very quickly for better and for worse.
Yeah. So we bottomed out, right? Yeah. And we're probably still closer to where we were there than we are to where we want to get. Yeah. Really, when you think about it.
Yeah, it's the culture that needs changing. And it's the culture that needs constant improvement.
Yes, it's philosophical change.
Yeah.
To a point. What that looks like and what that means.
Because I'm telling you now, if we were 4-7, or if we ended up having Longmire, for example, and we were in a bad patch of form, I know what the rhetoric would be. This guy's an experienced loser, lost grand finals by 40, 50 points. Like, what are we doing? He's a failed coach. I know he's won a granny, but he's also lost grand finals by a lot. I don't know.
And the current coach?
Current coach, I mean, the difference is he hasn't won a flag as a coach, and he's obviously not been successful as a coach. So,
of my concerns, as I think we all do.
Of course.
As I think the coach himself would. But he's doubling down.
Yeah.
He stated publicly that he's doubling down.
Yeah, that's
what he said.
He believes in his philosophy, and he's not succumbing to the pressure, and he's doing what he needs to do. And I mean, he'll either stay or he'll go. He'll stay playing his way. He'll go playing his way.
Yep. And look, respect to you for that. To you for that. But you've sometimes got to adapt if it ain't going your way. And we have. This is the 4th year, right? And we have been wildly inconsistent with this particular. Like, nothing has changed since 2022 when it comes to consistency. It's bad patch, same. Really good patch, bad patch, really good patch. It's the same thing.
So how do we know
It's never been linear.
How do we know that another coach would fix that? As opposed to a better coaching group?
Well, that comes down to analysing who's out there and what they can implement. That's up to CEO, it's up to board. They get all the facts and evidence in front of them and make judgment calls, don't they? And ultimately that's what they're going to be. That's what their legacies are going to be seen as.
Yeah.
Big decisions to be made. Every year it's the same thing. Whether you're up there, in the middle, or down below.
Change happens no matter what.
Of course it does. My take is that I don't think they will move him on as a head coach.
Yeah.
Unless this year becomes horrible. If we win 2 games in the back end of this year,
if we go 4-7 again,
he'll go.
Yeah.
I think he'll go, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But my take is I think we'll level out, and I think they will change the assistants around him.
I think so too.
That is what I think will occur.
Yeah. I hope they don't make changes before the season ends. I hope they
I don't think they will. I don't think
they've learnt from the past.
It will be drip fed. It will be one person in a particular post, and then a couple of months later it'll be another person in a particular post.
Yeah.
And then I think after the season is done, you'll see assistant coaches moved on. That's what, because they were all contracted.
Right.
Remember, I think we were asking during the off season, how come we haven't moved on certain people? It was because a lot of them were still contracted.
Where's Brad?
Brad Lloyd.
Yeah.
Well, he won't be there for much longer. You wouldn't have thought. Yeah.
I listened to Chris Davies from Port Adelaide talk a lot from Port.
He's their head of football, is he?
I would love him. I don't know if it's a possibility. I would love him as our head of football. I think he's a great operator.
Who would Graham Wright pick, you think? Would he go? You've got to go someone young and modern. You have to.
As a head of football?
Yeah, you have to.
Or like Jimmy?
Could be him. Could be someone else. Maybe not even a name. Doesn't have to be a name. It's someone who's competent. Someone who's young, a lightning rod for that footy department.
Yeah.
So he's like these people who have run the football department have been there for what 7, 8, 9 years.
If they knew what to do, if Brad Lloyd knew how to fix the football department, he would have done it by now. He's had plenty of time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Whether or not he does, that's the next question. But look, all the smoke around is that he's going to be moved on. That's all the smoke around.
Yeah.
So.
Have you seen the fixture for the second half? Have you looked?
Honestly, no. I haven't done the...
I was going to say how many wins.
I haven't done it.
Can you predict?
I haven't done it. I haven't done it. I haven't done it. Don't give me that look.
Can I be a psycho?
Here we go.
I genuinely can see... Genuinely, I promise I can see 10 wins.
Oh my God. Open that. What's in there? No, it's coffee. It's definitely coffee.
I'm telling you, I can see 10 wins.
Do it for
On
Not
what?
just givens, on a little bit of delusion, a spoonful of delusion. Actually, 2 tablespoons
Well, you know
of
what?
delusion.
Let's do this live.
Let's do it live.
I'll do it live.
I'll run you through game by game.
Okay.
You tell me win-loss.
All right, I'm not going to look.
Don't look, I'll tell you.
Well, next week we've got Essendon.
You tell me how many wins you can see.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. Yes.
Delusions of grandeur
Yes.
settle in.
Yes.
He has the AFL ladder predictor up.
I want to go predictor.
Okay.
We're going to go by team, and we're going to go by Carlton. Okay. So
This is such a dangerous
No,
exercise.
mate. Everyone's got an opinion. So Essendon,
Win.
really?
Yes. Yes. Certain of it as well.
West Coast,
Win.
North Melbourne,
Win.
Port Adelaide away, Thursday night.
60-40 in our favour.
That's not what I asked. It was a win or loss. It is a 5-day break from the Saturday after we play North at the G.
Port are not much chop, are they? Win. Okay.
So that'd be five wins in a row,
Yeah.
4 wins in a row, maybe 5. Collingwood, that'll be off an 8-day break, 8-day or
Loss.
loss. Okay.
Yeah.
Brisbane at Marvel.
Loss.
Okay. Melbourne at the G.
Win. Yeah.
Hawthorn at the G, 5 days later.
Win. I think we'll beat Hawthorn the second time around yet. Yeah. What's that, 6? Jesus.
Freo away, Optus.
Loss.
Gold Coast at Marvel.
Win. Yeah.
Port Adelaide again at Marvel.
Win.
Essendon at the MCG.
Is that the last game?
Yeah.
Loss. I'll give them 1.
They'll be playing on the
Split it.
Tuesday as well, mind you, because they've got the catch-up game with Gold Coast. So they'll be off like a 5-day
right,
break.
Okay. No, I'll pencil that in as a loss. Say split it at 50-50.
All
What's
right.
that?
I see 8.
So what does that take
That
us
would be
to?
11 wins for the season.
Is it or 12? No.
Sorry,
we're on
you're
for
right, you're
12.
right.
What's
It's
that
12.
take us to? 12 and 11?
12 and 11.
Which is...
Beat that Bombers team. You got 13 wins, just scrape it.
Yeah, I think we can scrape it. That's me being
Yeah.
wildly optimistic,
Yeah.
mind you.
Yeah.
Wildly optimistic for the purposes of this video.
No, you can be whatever you like.
That's me being wildly optimistic. But given what I think has set in again, it would
Yeah.
not surprise me if we drop one of our next 3.
Yep.
And heaven forbid it's West Coast away.
I think let it be West Coast away.
You reckon?
Let it not be here next Sunday against the Bombers.
Yeah.
Because you've got to build momentum now for the second half of the year. You've got to start with that game.
You know what I would love to occur, and I don't want to go too far ahead, but the foresight for me was go bang, 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 4 wins in a row and set up that game against Collingwood.
Yes. If we win 4 in a row... No, because you know why? We're not going to get over the top excited because we're all going to be waiting for that Collingwood game to know, is it real, is it not?
Yes.
Just like in 2023, remember? We beat Port at Marvel, and then it's like there was a bit of a vibe, but then it's like, all right, Collingwood's the big one, and then
we pounded them. Yeah. But you have to always look at the intent, and Collingwood were in neutral gear at that particular point of the season. I know it's going back, but that's what I want. Ideal scenario is we go bang, 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 and we build that Collingwood game up into something enormous. That's what I hope happens. Yeah.
Collingwood home game, I think.
No, our home game.
Our home game.
Because that's when it'll be the sickness. Everybody, it will be crazy.
Listen, we are so inconsistent that we can't even be consistently inconsistent.
Correct.
So that means...
Yes.
Let us have it.
God, I just want people to picture that. Just picture 4 wins in a row into a primetime game against Collingwood, a Carlton home match. And we've got our momentum up. Get Dino up. Get him up, mate. Get Dino involved. Handbrake on. Put the handbrake on. Handbrake on.
I just want to be excited one more time this year.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
To rock up to a game that has a bit of buzz.
Yeah.
And substance and energy to it, which would be fantastic. Whether or not that happens, only time will tell, my friend. Only time will tell.
You think we can get to 12 wins? I think we can get to 14.
Well, we can, because the last 2 seasons have showed we can, but it's what happens with teams around you as well.
True.
That's the big thing too. You can't.
Lots of narratives.
Of course.
Lots of narratives.
Of course.
Paul Sebastiani.
It's a pleasure. Terry Degani. Like, subscribe, comment.
Yep.
Let us know how you think we're going to go for the second half of the season.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.